Well, we went to Florida, and I didn't tell Gloria that we didn't have any rooms or anything. So we went to the hotel, and the hotel said they were booked. And I said, well, where are we going to stay? So the fellow says, well, I have two cots over there, and we'll get the cots, and you can sleep on the cots. So for 3 days, we slept on the cots. Two separate cots. Can you imagine on your honeymoon on the cots? Well, that was us. After about 3 days, we found a room, and we went just for a room. There were three couples there, and we stayed over there, and we had to go out to eat. Then there was a signal of a hurricane. So the people that owned the house, they went into the basement. And we were sitting there, the three couples, we were having rum and cokes. And outside was a little, lake-like. Well, when this hurricane hit, this lake was no longer a lake, it was like the ocean. And we were scared. And after that was about a month later, no, about 2 weeks later, we were able to get an apartment, a duplex with another couple. We each had our own individual apartments. And that's where Grandma learned how to cook.
On a kerosene stove. Real modern.
And even bacon had a little oven on top of the kerosene stove.
And it's those square.
And to make heat for the apartment, we had a fireplace. And then, if you lived in Florida, you would know that if you opened the bathroom door when it was dark, all the cockroaches and spiders would all go away. And Grandma got used to it. She used to be scared in the beginning, but after a while she got used to it. And that was our Florida trip. Okay, while I was in service, I was a staff sergeant, and I used to be in charge of the engineering office on the flight line. That was where the planes were. One day they had a parade, and the colonel said to me, you take care of the office, you don't have to go to the parade, but I want you to stay there for the day. So I said, well, if there's a parade, I'm going to leave. So I left around 12 o'clock, I guess it was, and I went home. That was our apartment in Avon Park. And when I came in the next day, the colonel called me into the office. He said, I told you to stay here. He said, well, I could bust you. That means you'll be a private again. But I'm going to put you on KP for a whole week. So I went on KP for a whole week, and boy, the potatoes were really mashed good. That was the end of that trip. When we came home, we went to look for an apartment, and we went to a place quite a few places. We went to a place on 298 Montgomery Street, saw the superintendent there. As soon as he heard my last name, he said, I went to a wedding for Harry Raymer. I said, well, that's my dad. And as soon as he heard that, that was the apartment. We got the apartment. It was on the third floor. It was a 3-story walk-up. And we lived there, and then from there we went to live for our friends. Fred Dreskin had a house on 8th Avenue, and he gave us it was a two-family, and we took the second story. And eventually from that place there, when we went into business, Gloria worked for me for 43 years in the office.
Not on the payroll.
And no pay. That's because we had good accountants. And from there, we bought our own house. I went to Greeley State Teachers College while I was in service, and then when I came out, I went to Fairleigh Dickinson College in Rutherford. The teacher there owned an agency in Rutherford, which was very, very big, and he taught me, and he said, why don't you go into business for yourself? And while we were living on Gourley Street, I had my office in the basement there, and he gave me one company. From there, we progressed to get more companies. And Gloria said to me, you think we'll do all right with this? And I said, you'll get whatever you want. And so far, she did get whatever she wanted. They don't call it Diamond Lil for nothing. And that's where our life is, and we had a very good life there. We used to, while I was doing the insurance business, I also went and worked for a butcher in the mornings and conducted my business during the day. And we had lots of company on Sundays because we had lots of steak, and all our relatives came over, and it was very, very nice.
Okay. Worked at where New Jersey State.
Worked with Dumont first.
Oh, I worked at Dumont. Yeah, everybody knew me there. They looked forward to my coming around to give out the checks. Not only made them up, how to give them out. And
then you went to work
then
for
I
New
went
Jersey.
to work for New Jersey. And
The father.
father hollered at me. I picked myself up. I put my coat on, and I said, goodbye, I'm leaving.
Being when I was working at the butcher, so every day I would get meat from the butcher, and so we had accumulation of meat and stuff. So every Sunday we had barbecues, and naturally all our friends and relatives would come over. We had one especially, it was Uncle Sol, and he would always say, you inviting me? And one day Gloria said to him, I've never been to your house for a cup of coffee. And he didn't answer, and he didn't come back for steak anymore. That's the way it goes. And then there's a story about a megaphone. We had a cheerleader. Linda was the cheerleader. And so I said I would sing to them in the morning if they didn't get up. But I didn't tell them I was going to use the megaphone. So I used to use the megaphone, and boy, that woke them up, because they didn't like my singing. And I'm not going to sing for you people, because I don't want everybody to leave. Barbara attended Jersey State Teachers College and became a teacher. Linda went to Lock Haven in Pennsylvania and became a teacher. Barbara started teaching in South Jersey, and Keyport was the name of the town. And from there she went to England. She taught there, I think, a year or two, I don't remember. But then she went to England, and she met Jim, got married, and that's where Michael and Rebecca were both born. When Michael was born, we both went to see him. But when Rebecca was born, I couldn't go because I had surgery, and so Gloria went and spent time over there. And then eventually Jim passed away, and Barbara came back to the States. And everybody is now grown up, and everybody's working, and everybody's got good jobs. Phyllis is a teacher, Marielle is going to college, Michael is out in Seattle, working for
Microsoft.
Not Microsoft, no, he's working for a airplane company, making the parts there, and Rebecca's in Washington. Okay, then we went to England because Barbara and Jim were going to get married. We told them to look for a restaurant, and they looked for a restaurant there, and we went there for dinner one night when we came there, and they decided this is the place they were going to have it. I said, that's fine. It was a French restaurant, very small. They went there, and they had a two-piece band from a Calypso band, I guess it was. And so I said, oh, let's have the band for the wedding. And I went to the owner and I said, I'd like to get the band, I'll go over and talk to him. He said, no, let me go. He said, I'll talk to them. And he said, I'll get the price. I said, okay, fine. And he came back and told me the price. I mean, I thought he was crazy. It was $50. I was expecting $200-300. So we had that, and we had the wedding over there, which was very nice. And people are not used to the way we do weddings here. And I told them whatever was on the menu they could have. Well, that was one shock. After that, they had drinks at the end of the meal. I said they could have drinks at the end of the meal. Well, that was like impossible. They must have thought I was the millionaire of a millionaire. But it wasn't true. But it was a very nice wedding. And then we had Linda's wedding. And Jim, Barbara, both came over for the wedding. It was a very nice wedding. It was at the
Where was it?
the name of the day.
I remember.
Hold on.
And then we had Linda's wedding. That was at the Crystal Plaza, which was very, very nice. And Barbara said to Jim, he said, see, if we had come here, this is the kind of wedding we had. Aren't you glad we didn't have this kind of wedding? Because he didn't want a big wedding, neither did she. And it was very, very nice. And everybody enjoyed themselves. And because it was the last child, so they had us sit down, Mel's mother, Gloria, myself, and put crowns on our head. And they danced around us, which was very nice and very unusual. I've never seen that done before. And everything was wonderful. We had a great band and everything. And that was a good wedding.
Okay. When we got married, they were taking bets that it wasn't going to last. So now whenever we go to the cemetery, I go around to the graves and I say, look, we're still together. You're wrong. We're still together.
Okay, now we decided to sell the house because we had sold the business. We said it was time to get out of the business and retire. So we decided to sell the house, and we went looking around. And we went looking around with Kay Herman. And we went to different places, and we didn't find anything until Elliot. He found the place that we're living in now. And we came here to sign up, and Kay was looking at the place, and we said, well, we want a garage. Kay said, no, I don't need a garage. I don't want it. Then they asked for a deposit. Kay says, I'm not giving a deposit. But her daughter Allison was there, and she said, yes, you're giving a deposit. And so Kay had to give a deposit, whether she liked it or not. And so when we said we wanted a garage, and Kay said, oh, that's a good idea, I'll take a garage too. And so we're both living here, and we both check on each other, make sure everything is all right, that if one makes a move to here, that going to the doctor, tell them to go to the doctor. If you're not going to the doctor, where are you going? So each one knows where the other is. So in case anybody should get sick, we tell them. We've met a lot of nice people over here. And then we have the clubhouse here. And we go to, I go to Atlantic City, Grandma doesn't go. We have different things at the clubhouse that go on. They have birthdays every month, and bingo they have over there. We have a pool that's outside during the summertime, and we do all kinds of things. We've met a lot of nice people here. We go out Friday nights for dinner, and other nights we go with different people for dinner. And Kay goes with us on Friday night, and also Marge. That's a steady group every Friday night. 5:30 is sharp. We leave. And Barbara is in the office there, and she has the cake to be cut. We don't let her cut it because she used a knife and it was cut herself one time. And from then on, she is not allowed to use that knife. And we have a lot of good times here. We're happy that we're here because we have two bedrooms and two bathrooms and a washer dryer here. And we have the garage, so it's very, very nice. And you can do whatever you want, and you can be as busy as you want, whatever you want to do.